Good evening. In previous session, we have seen the concept of tuples. So in this session, we are going to see the concept of sets in detail. So already we have seen sets concept in brief when we are discussing about the data types concept. Now, let us see what is meant by set. Right. Now, okay, set. So set is nothing but a group of elements, same like list tuple. Set is also a group of elements. Okay. So here, let us see the properties of the set. So first one we have to understand is what? When we are going to consider list and tuple, there the elements are going to be inserted in some order. There is some order here. But when we are going to consider the concept of set, here it is a collection of unordered elements. Unordered collection of elements or items. Okay. Set is what? It is a unordered collection of elements. Here there is no particular order. That means if you are going to insert the elements in an order called as 10, 20 and 30, the result may be 30, 10, 20. We can't expect because here there is no concept of insertion order, or the same step can also be said as insertion order is not preserved. Insertion order is not preserved. That means here there is no concept of inserting, or that means in a particular order the data is not going to be inserted. Next, if you are going to consider a set, here duplicates are not allowed. In the concept of list and tuple we have seen what duplicates are allowed there, but in the concept of set duplicates are not allowed. Next, very important point now, set is immutable. See, same point I will repeatedly discuss, that is what set is immutable I will tell here, and I will say set is mutable also. So please listen carefully, you may get some confusion here. So I'll explain in detail. So why I am saying set is immutable means the elements in that set cannot be changed. Elements in the set cannot be changed. That is, for example, here let us consider a, first I will consider about list. So this is a list. 10, 20, 30 are the elements of the list. If I want to change the element 20, just what I will do, L of 1 equal to, I will change it to some 40. So now the elements of that list is going to be changed. That means here 40 is going to be inserted, and in this way the list is going to be modified. But in the concept of this set, what happens if I try to change s of some 1 equal to 40? It is wrong. This cannot be done in our sets. So we are calling it as what? Immutable. Set is immutable. That means the elements that are going to be present inside a set cannot be changed. Okay. Now next step is, I can say set itself is a mutable. Set itself is mutable. That is, why I am saying set itself is a mutable means the size can be increased or decreased. So size can be increased or decreased. So here in the concept of changing the elements, it is not possible. But if you are going to consider the concept of size of the set, size can be increased or decreased. That means what? Once set is going to be created, let us consider here how many elements are there? 3 elements are there. What is the size? Size is 3. I can increase that. That means what? The size of the set is going to be modified. That may be increased or that may be decreased. So I am going to tell you what? It as a mutable. When we can say set as immutable? When we are going to consider the elements of a set. I cannot change that. So this element cannot be changed. This element cannot be changed. This element cannot be changed. So I am calling that set as what? Immutable. Next, why I am saying set itself as a immutable? Okay, reason is the size of this set can be modified. So that is the reason why I am telling it as a mutable also. The next point. So here, as we know that in the same list and tuple also we have seen that heterogeneous elements are allowed. Here also heterogeneous elements are allowed. What is meant by heterogeneous elements? Different types. Heterogeneous is nothing but different types are allowed, or different heterogeneous objects. We can write objects are types also, no problem. Objects are allowed. So this is the concept of set. These are the properties of the set. So set is what? Unordered collection of elements. So in this, insertion order is not preserved and duplicates are not allowed. Set is immutable because the elements of the set cannot be changed once it is created, but the size of the set can be changed. So set itself is what? Mutable. And we can say what? It set can contain heterogeneous objects. That means what? Any type it can contain, not only int, not only string, not only float, or not only any particular thing. It can contain any different values also, any different types also, right? Now, how to create a set? The point is how to create a set. So generally we will use curly braces for creating a set, and internally we are going to use commas to separate the elements of the set. So this is the general way. We can create in another way also, but general way is what? We are going to use curly braces, and inside that we are going to place commas to separate the elements of the list. And one more important point, last point I have to discuss, that is set cannot have mutable elements. Mutable means where what? Which can be changed. That is, all basic data types are what? Mutable. So int, next one is what? Float, next one is string, next one is boolean, next one is complex. So these cannot be these are what? Immutable. So I can use these types in our set, but what cannot be used? That is, inside set cannot have mutable elements. So that is, for example, lists, sets, or we can, okay, dictionaries. So dictionary is not yet seen, so we will see it later. So these should not be there in our sets. Okay, let us see with examples all these concepts. So once again, I am repeating the concept. Set is what? A group of elements generally, and in that the order will not be preserved. That means whatever the order you are going to insert the elements, that order will not be preserved. Next, duplicates are not allowed. Set is immutable in the case of what? If you are going to insert any elements into the set, that elements cannot be modified. Next, set itself is what? Mutable. That means what? The size of the set can be modified. That means size can be increased or size can be decreased. Next, heterogeneous objects are allowed. Next one is what? To create a set, generally we will use what? Curly braces, and the elements are separated with what? Commas. Next, set cannot have mutable elements like lists, sets, and dictionaries. And now let us see, oh sorry, one more point, last point, that is what? Set. To create a set, we can also use a set method, or to convert any other type to set type, we can use what? Set method, or set function. We can call it as a function. So these are the important points we have to understand about the set. So let us go to examples. Okay, right. First, let us create a empty set. Let us create an empty set. So if I type s equal to, okay, first I will take about list so that we will get a clarity on this one. If I type in this way, and if I type the type of L, we are going to get what? It is a list type. And if I see L, it is having what? No elements in that list. That means it is an empty list. Now let us consider a empty set. Generally we will think what? S equal to open bracket, closed bracket. If I write in this way, let us see the type of, yes, what it is going to show. So see what it is going to show. It is a dictionary, not a set. So if we want to create a empty set, we should not write open curly braces and closed curly braces without any elements. Is not treated as empty set, but it will treat it as what? Empty dictionary. Okay, right. Now how to create a empty set? So just by using a method, a function called as set function. So if I type this one, what happens? Type of, yes. So now you can understand what? It is a type of set. If I print s, you are going to get what? Empty set. There is no set. Okay, so in this way we can create an empty set, but by using the curly braces we cannot create an empty set. Now let us take the examples of the set. Just I will take some elements 10 comma 20 comma 30. Generally why we are going to take numerical means it is easy to consider. If I want to take a strings every time I have to place what double quotes, so that for easiness I am going to take these numericals only. 50 comma 60 comma 70 comma 80. So this is what S is a set which contains a group of elements. How we can say that S is a set? Because curly braces are used, and inside that curly braces we are going to have some elements. So S is which type? If I print S, we are going to get what? See, very important point we have to observe. So first I will go to first point here. What is that? Unordered collection of elements, which is nothing but insertion order is not preserved. That is, here what we have taken 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. I have taken in some order, but what is the output you are going to get? Some 70, 40, 10, 80, 50, 20, 60, 30, because I cannot preserve the order. That means I cannot save the order. Whatever the order I am taking, I cannot ensure the order will be the same. So I may get in this order, you may get in different order. Okay, we may not tell the order. Okay, as these are fixed, we are getting the same output, but if you do the same concept, the order may be different. So as the insertion order is not preserved, we will not get the elements in the inserted order. Now I want to take a set of elements by using the set function. So in this set, what I have to write? A group of elements has to be written, or a iterable object can be written. So what I am writing? Set of Shiva I am going to write. See what I will say. If I print S, it is going to divide the character, the string into characters, and it is saving in a set because I have converted it into a set. If I try to create a set with a single element, see here what happens here. So it is clearly saying what? Int object is not iterable. That means compulsory if you are going to pass anything to the, what can I say, set function, it should be iterable. Iterable means what? Group of values should be there in that one. For example, I can take list here. I can take list. Okay, if I press enter, what happens? It is successful. We are going to get the elements inside a set. You may get one doubt now that, sir, here you told that set cannot have mutable elements like list, sets, and dictionary. Here, what I am telling now, I am not telling that we are having a, see, if we see this list, what happens? Is there any set inside a set? Is there any list inside a set? Is there any dictionary inside a set? No. Just I am converting the list into set here. But what is the concept here? We have seen set cannot have mutable elements. That is, list, sets, and dictionary cannot be present in our set. That is S equal to, just I will take one set here, 10 comma 20 I am going to take. Remaining I am going to take some other values. Now see what happens. Unhashable type set. That means this cannot be there here. This should not be there. Now if I try for your list also, set also. Set inside a set already has, sorry, I have taken. Now just I will take list also. So here I am going to take 10 comma 20 and I will take 30 comma 40. Now see what happens. Same error. Unhashable type list. That means what? List cannot be there and set cannot be there inside a set. But I can convert the list and set to, sorry, I can convert the list to the set. I can convert string to the set by using a set function, as we have seen there. And also I can convert what should be there inside this bracket. Iterable object should be there. Okay. So set of, I want to take range also. Range of, for example, 1 comma 11, or just I will take 10. That means here what happens? Group of elements are there inside the bracket. So in this bracket, how many are the range of 10? 10 elements are there here. So those all elements are going to be converted into set by using the set function, and those values are going to be stored in S. Okay, now see, if I print S, we are going to get output as what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you may see in some order. Okay, no problem. Sometimes it will come in some order, or sometimes it may not come in some order. But if we consider this range, generally it will take in in this order only. Okay, generally, right? This is about set function. Now I want to show you next point. That is what duplicates are not allowed. Just I will take a duplicate values here. So that is what 10 comma 20 comma 10 comma 30. So is there any duplicate here? Yes, duplicate is present here. That is what 10. There will be no error, no problem, but it will not store that 10 twice. Duplicate will not be allowed. That means what? Your set will contain only 10, 20 and 30. Okay, there will be no error if duplicates are present also, but it will not store that duplicate value in our set. Next point is what? Set is okay. We will see this mutable in the concept of methods. Now let us say about heterogeneous concept objects. So just I will take a heterogeneous object. Heterogeneous objects are nothing but what? Different type of objects, or one float, some boolean also. Okay, so see, it is possible, but there will be no order because I have inserted in some order. It is going to print in some other order. What is the reason? Your set is not going to have any, it is not going to preserve any insertion order. Okay, this is about basic points of our is there any other thing to see? Okay, nothing is there. All points are covered except these 2 points. I will cover these 2 points in methods and functions concept. Okay, right. Now I'm going to take elements of the list and I want to access them. That is nothing but what? Access the elements. Generally, if you are going to consider, just I will take one list. Just I will take this list. Okay. If I want to access 10 value, what index I have to give generally? Generally, I will give S of 0. But if I print this set here, you can observe here. If I print this S here, what happens? In S of 0, what is there? True is there. But what I am expecting? I am expecting 10. So you can understand what here. So whatever you are going to expect, the output is not going to be generated. Reason, insertion order is not preserved. If insertion order is not preserved, how can you access a particular element by using index concept? It is not possible. That means here accessing the elements by using index and slicing is not possible. Why it is not possible? Let us take S equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40. I don't know internally how it is going to be stored. If it is a list or a tuple, I can understand how it is going to be stored internally. I can estimate, but in this set concept, what happens? I don't know which element will be first, which element will be second, which element will be third, and which element will be fourth. I don't know the indexes concept also. If I think here 0, 1, 2, 3 will be there, but internally what happens? The indexes are different. If you want to access this element, you are going to use what? S of 0, but in the place of S of 0, what we are having? 30. So this is the reason why there is no concept of indexing. If indexing is not possible, slicing also it is not possible for the set. So let us see one example of this. So S of 0. Okay, see what happens? Set object is not subscriptable. That means here the index concept is not applicable. Just I have written here, but it is not applicable for the, see here I have crossed it. So it is not applicable for the set concept. Next, I will try for S of 0 colon 3 colon 1 for example. See here also what is 0 and what is 3? Those are also indexes only. If index concept is not applicable for the set, how this slice can be applicable? It is also not applicable. So set object is not subscriptable. Okay, so accessing the elements of set by using the index and slicing, it is not possible. Then let us see with for loop. For I in yes, print of I, let us take. Okay, see what happens? The output is printed, no problem here. But if we want to access the elements in this way, I can access. But if we want to access the elements with the help of indexes or by using the concept of slice operator, it is not possible for the set. Okay. Next. So just I will take one list and I want to show you is can list can take duplicates? Yes, it can take the duplicates. Now, okay, if I print L, duplicates are going to be printed, no problem. But now I want to store a list of elements as a set, list of elements as a set by using the set function. If I write set of L, what happens here? List is going to be converted into set, and inside S, let us see what will be there. What you may think that 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40 maybe there, you may expect that, but if the duplicates can present inside a list, but duplicates should not present in our set. So if I type S, we are going to get what? Only 40, 10, 20, 30. What about remaining 10 and 20? Those are duplicates. Your set cannot store duplicates. So whenever we are trying to store duplicates inside a set by using the concept of list or tuple, while storing the elements inside a set, the duplicates will be removed. Okay, so this is about basics of our set. Now let us go to the concept of functions and methods that are used for set data type. Right, now let us see immutable and mutable concept. Immutable, already, sorry, I have seen already immutable because I cannot change. How can I change? Generally tell me, by using the indexes. If there is no concept of index, how can I change? If I try, see, if I try S of 0 equal to 30, that means what I am doing, let us write 80. If I, what I am doing here, I want to change index 0 with 80. Is it possible? It is not possible. So this immutability concept is completed. I cannot change the elements of the set. Now what is meant by mutability? What I said, list set itself is a mutable. How I can say it? Because I can increase or decrease the size of the set, So let us see how we can increase or decrease the size of the set by using the functions. So first let us see how to add the elements to the set. What is meant by adding the elements to the set? The size of the set is going to be increased. Okay, so for that I am going to use add function. Okay, sorry, add method. So add method is going to add the element to your set. Okay, it is going to add the element to the set, okay, right. Let us see with example. So right, I am going to take one set 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40. I'm going to take. So if I print S, we are going to get some elements, but it is not in order. Now I want to add some element to this one. What I have to use? I want to add the element. Which element? Some name, some string I want to add here. Okay, so I am adding this string. To whom I have to add? I have to add it to S. Okay, now if I press enter, we are going to get the output as what? Nothing. That means what? Add is not going to return anything. Okay, right. Let us see S now. So what happens? This Shiva is going to be added. You may think that it is added at last, but generally there is no concept of insertion, but here it is going to show in the last position, but it is not compulsory to show in the last position. Right, now you may have some doubt that, sir, can I add two elements? Let us try. It is not possible because we can pass only one element to the add method. So see here, clearly it will say add method takes exactly one argument but two given. How many it can take? Only one argument. But why you have given two arguments? If you try with three also, it will clearly says that we can take only one, but you have given three. Okay, so error is clear. It will clearly says what is the problem in that error. Okay, next, sir, if I want to update a group of values, or if I want to add the group of values, I am going to have a method called as update. The name of method is what? Update. So already I am having some set which contains some values. I want to update this one. Okay, s dot update of, see here, I want to insert two elements. Now you can observe what happens. See, it is going to show what? Error. Because what I told you, if I want to update group of elements, I have to go to what can I say, update method. But that group of methods also should be iterable. Here what I have taken 10 and 20 as separate values. Separate values cannot be taken here. Iterable object, that means what? Which can be iterate. That means what? A list. It can contain a group of values and it can be iterable. At a time I can take single elements. But here this is what? 10 is separate and 20 is separate. So I can take a iterable object. So let us take s dot update of, just I will take iterable object, that is first I will take a list. That is what? 10 comma 20, already 10 20 it is present. So let us take 50 comma 60, or you can take n number of elements, no problem. So if you press enter, set has no attribute update, sorry, spelling mistake. Okay, let us see. Okay, now see here what happens. It is updated and it is not going to return anything. That means it is going to return none. Let us print s. So if you observe here, the elements of list are going to be inserted to the set. Which set? Yes. Okay, here I am not inserting list inside a set. I am going to insert the elements of the list into the set by using the concept of update method. So I will take one more iterable object. So I will take some tuple. Some 80, 90 I will take. Okay, it is updated. Let us see this updated set. So see here, 80 and 90 are updated, but it is not in order. So 80 is inserted somewhere, 90 is inserted somewhere. Okay, now I want to take some string also. You may think that our string is only one value, but string is looks like one value, but it can be iterable. That means what? I can take individual values from the string. So what? No problem. So if I press enter, the output will not be Shiva single element. Individual, that means individual characters will be separated here. See, you can observe that one. S is inserted, I is inserted, V is inserted, and A is inserted. One thing you have to remember is what? It is not in a order. That's it. So next, I want to take some other range also. Range of 5 I am going to take. Okay. See, it is updated. So what happens? This 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are also added. Okay. This is about update. If we want to update, here I have shown you what? Only one type of iterable object I have taken. If you want to take multiple iterable objects also, no problem. That is what? Once I will take list, I am going to take 89 comma 79 comma 69 I am going to take in a list, and I'm also going to take one more tuple also I am going to take, that is 100, 200 and 300 I am going to take. If you want to take one more also, no problem. Here I am going to take some other iterable object, that is Ram. So if I'm going to see here, the list is going to be updated with all the elements what I have inserted. What I have inserted now? 89, 79, 69. So see here, 69, 79 and 89 are inserted here. What about 100, 20, 30? Those are also inserted. 300, 200 and 100. And Ram is also inserted in separate as a separate characters. M, R and somewhere A is going to be inserted. Okay. Update is used to insert a group of elements which are present in a iterable object to a list. It is possible. If we want to insert some objects to some elements to your set from different type of iterable objects, it is also possible, as we have seen in this example. Okay, it is about add and update. Right, now let us go to the concept of next method, that is what? Copy method. What is meant by copy? Already we have seen the concept of copy in our previous session. In the same way, here also copy will be same. That is, we have seen what? We have seen the concept of cloning and equal to aliasing and cloning we have seen. Same concept here also it will be applicable. That means S equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30 I am going to take, and here if I write S1 equal to S, what happens? First one set is going to be created here, some 30 10 20 it is going to be created, and it is pointed by whom? It is going to be pointed by S. Now what I am telling, S1 equal to S, that means what? Same concept, S1 is also pointing to S here. Okay, what is the problem here? If S1 is going to be modified the value, is it possible to modify the value? It is not possible to modify the value, but we can increase the size of the elements. That means what? S1 is going to add the elements. S1 dot add of 40. If I add in this, if S1 is going to add the element to the corresponding set, the value is going to be added somewhere. Just I will write here, somewhere it is going to be added, but it is affecting to what? It is affecting to S also. So that if I want to create a copy of S separately, then I have to go for a function called as what? Copy. Okay, right, let us see that one now. So let us go to a which function, which method? Copy. So here I am going to take what S I have taken here. So just I will take S dot copy. I want S copy. Whose copy? S copy. To whom? S1. Now what happens? S copy will be created here. S copy will be created. Some 30, 10, 20, 40 it will create. Copy is created here and it will be pointed by whom? S1. Now let us try here. S1 dot, sorry, otherwise S dot 50 I am going to write. This is not there now. So S is pointing to what? This set. So it is going to add 50, not in an order. It may insert anywhere. So here what happens? S1 is not modified because here I am modifying what? I am modifying or increasing the size of this set by using the add method. But here it is not going to be reflected. So this concept is called as what? Aliasing. This concept is called as what? Cloning, or we can say it as a copying. So there is a difference, different type of copies in our Python. That is what deep copy and shallow copy. We will discuss that concept after completing all these concepts. Okay, just for now we have to understand what, if I am going to apply the concept of S dot copy, a separate copy of S will be created and it will be pointed by S1. You may think that, sir, yesterday in previous session we have seen that in this way we have seen. Is it possible for our set? It is not possible because slicing is not possible for our set concept. So only directly we can use what? Copy. So let us see the examples for this one. S equal to, just I will take 10 comma 20 comma 30. Okay, so right, elements are taken. If I print S, we are going to get 10 20 30, and if I press ID of S also, some address is given here. Now what I will do, S1 equal to S. Now what happened in S1 also, all these elements that are present in S will be present. That means it is pointing to the same element. You may see here some order. Sometimes it may give you same order, no problem. Okay, now I want to see the ID of S1 also. If you see ID of S1, you may see the same address what we have seen for S. So see here, same is there. That means this is the concept of what? Both are pointing to only single set here in this case. Okay, but if I try to modify, if S1 want to add some element to its list, S1 dot add of 40. Now S1 is adding to, sorry, okay, sorry, here I think I have written list here. Anyway, just I will create it as a set. 1 minute. Okay, just I am going to create what? Set here. Now what I'm doing, S1 equal to S I am going to do. And if I see the IDs of S, ID of S and ID of S1, what happens? Both are same. And if I print S, if I print S1, both will be same. Now what I'm going to do, I'm S1 want to add some element to its list, to its list. So just it is going to add the element. If I see S1, what happens? No problem, 40 is added. But yes, for S list, what happens? Both are same. So for S also, the element is going to be added. But what happens here? If S1 is adding the element to the list or modifying the list, set, then what happens? It is affecting to S also, to other reference also. If you don't want this type of conflicts, then we have to go for the concept of copy method. Just let us see that same concept by taking some other data. A equal to some 40 comma 50 comma 60 I'm going to take. Now I will write, I'm going to create the copy of A, that is A dot copy. So while writing A dot copy, what happens? The copy of A is going to be created and it is going to be pointed by B. Okay, let us see A. Okay, same element. Let us see B, same elements, but those both are same object or not. Let us check now. Directly by using what? I can use A is B also. It will tell you whether those are same or not. Otherwise, if you want to see the addresses also, we can go for ID of A and we can see ID of B. Both will be different. Okay, see, you can observe this one. Here, both the IDs of sets are different. So in this way, we can create the copy of a set. Next concept. This is what we have seen. Add we have seen. Update we have seen. So for adding the elements, I have seen. Next, what I have seen for creating the same copy of a set, I have seen. We have seen the concept of copy method. Now I want to decrease the size of the set. That means what? By using a remove, I can do it. So remove is nothing but what? It is going to remove the element of a particular set. Okay, let us see that one. So first, before going to that, just I will show you the some elements of a set. I am going to consider S. So S is already having what? 4 elements it is going to have. I want to remove some element. I want to remove some element. That is what? 10 I want to remove here. So what happens? It is not going to return anything, but internally what happens? 10 is going to be removed. If you see the set, you can observe that what? Set is going to be, sorry, that 10 is going to be removed here. Okay. Now I will try to remove the element that is not present in this set. That is what I will try to remove 50. What happens? It is going to give you an error. How it can remove? You are telling what? Remove the element from S. Which element? 50. It will try to search for a 50. It is not present. Just it will say some error. What error? Key error. You have given 50. That element is not present. Okay. Next, if I am not going to pass any argument, what happens? Remove takes exactly one argument, but we have given what? 0 arguments are given here. So it is not possible to take 0 arguments for the remove method. Okay, this is about what? Removing the elements, a individual element of a set. If the element is not present, if you are trying to remove it, we are going to get an error. Next concept is, see, sir, we are getting some error, but I don't want to get the error if the element is not present also. That means what? If a list contain 10, 20, 30, 40, and I want to delete 60, is it present? It is not present, but I should not get error. Then we have to go to one more method called as discard. What is that? Discard. Same example I will consider. Yes. So S is having what? 40, 20, 30. Now I will try to discard, listen carefully, I will try to discard 20. So 20 is present here. If I see it, yes, what happens? It is removed. If it is present, it will be removed. But what is the difference between remove and discard is only one thing. If the element is found, here in the case of remove, it will be removed. In the case of discard also, if the element is found, it will remove. But here, if the element is not found in the case of remove, we are going to get an error. But in the case of discard, if the element is not found also, let us see S here, only 2 elements are there. I am going to discard what? Some element which is not present. I will take some 60. What are the elements that are present in the set? 40 and 30. Just I will take 60 and see what happens. It is not going to give me any error, but here what happens? We are going to get some error when we are going to apply remove concept. So if I press yes, what happens? Nothing is going to be removed because 60 is not there. If 60 is there, it will remove that. But if 60 is not there, what it is going to do? It will not remove any element. That's it. The main difference between these two is, if here the element is not there, it will give you an error. But in the concept of discard method, if the element is not there also, if it is not present in the set also, It is not going to give you any error. This is the small difference between remove and your what we can say remove and discard method. So to remove the elements, we are using what? Remove method and discard method, and you know the differences between these two also. Now one more method is there to remove the elements of the set. Just I will create a large set which contains 5 or 6 elements, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6, for example. 6 elements I am going to take. Now for removing the element, see here, if I am going to remove the element here, what I have removed here, for example, s dot remove of 10 I have removed here. Is it returning me? S dot remove of 10 means just it is going to remove. Until I have seen this set, I don't know that 10 is removed from the list. The concept of pop is, if I am going to write pop here, okay, first I will show you S here. Just I will show you S here. It is going to print in some order, no problem. But if I am going to apply a method called as pop on this S, listen carefully. I don't know which element will be removed. The concept is what? I don't know which element will be removed from the set. But one element will be removed, and before removing, it will return that element to me and it will be removed. That means what happens here? In S dot remove concept, what happens? The element 10 is going to be removed, but it is not returning that value here. But here S dot pop method is going to do what? Before removing, it is going to return the value to the user. That is what, for example, see, I don't know which element is going to be removed. S dot pop, it is removed what? It is going to take in the concept of stack. So first element is removed. If I apply same thing once again, what happens? Second element, next third element, next fourth element. In the order it will remove, but that order may not be known by me. Okay, here I have seen that as the elements are arranged in some order, I can expect the output. See, whenever the stack is empty, if you try to pop that, we are going to get what? We are going to get an exception. Until the elements are present, we can pop, no problem. But once the elements are the set is empty, we cannot pop that set, because what? I am telling to pop something. That means what? I am telling something to remove. But is there anything to remove? There is nothing to remove. So it is saying what? Pop from an empty set. You are trying to pop. So CS, what is there? Empty set is there. How you can pop that? It is not possible. Now just I will take some random set that is a different values which contains a different values. I will take that set and I will show you the same case. Okay, just I will take that one. So see here, just I will take SC equal to 10 comma some string I am going to take Ram comma Hari comma 30 comma 25.236 something 253.6 comma true I am going to take. Okay, so if I don't want to print anything, okay, I don't know which elements are present at what location. Okay, if I write s dot pop, what happens? Which element is going to be removed? I don't know. But before going to remove, the element is going to be returned to me so that I can understand which element is going to be removed. See now, okay, true is going to be removed. Now I print yes. Okay, see what happens? 10 is there, Hari is there. Now if I pop now, what you can understand? Which one will be popped? 10 is going to be popped. Automatically we know that because it is in some order. Okay, it is, you can consider this one as a stack. That means you can consider it as what? Stack. In this way you can consider. And what are the elements that are present? First I can consider what is present here? 10 is present. So I can consider here 10 is there. Next, what is there? Hari is there. So Hari is there. Next we are going to have what? 253.6. Next, what is there? Ram and 30 is there. In this way I can consider. Pop means what? What it is going to pop? Top of the element it is going to be popped. So 10 is popped. If I apply next to pop, Hari is popped. Next to 253.6 will be popped. You can understand that now. See, Hari is popped. Next what? 253 will be popped. Next what? Ram will be popped. Next what? 30 will be popped. If I try once again, what happens? All the elements of that set is going to be set is removed. So see, empty set. If I try to pop that one, what we are going to get? We are going to get an error saying what? You are trying to pop a set which is empty. Okay. So this is about removing of elements from the set by using three functions. One is what? Remove function. Next one is what? Discard. Third one is pop. One more is there for deleting the elements. That is directly I will clear all the elements. Yesterday we have seen the same concept for another data type also. That is what? Clear method. That is, if I am going to apply clear method to a set, then automatically all the elements are going to be removed. So if I press S, what happens? We are going to get a set of elements what we are having in that set. Just I will write S dot clear. Just I am telling what? Please clear all the elements of the S. If I press enter, what happens? All the elements of the set is cleared. Let us see whether is there any element or there are not in our S. So what happens? Nothing is there. So this indicates what? Set open bracket, close bracket indicates what? Empty set. So if I write L equal to empty set, see, if I print L, what happens? Open bracket and close bracket prints what? Empty set, treats it as an empty set. But if I want to create an empty set, what I have to do? S is equal to, in this way I have to create. So if I print S, what it's going to show? That means it indicates empty set. In the concept of list, open square bracket and close square bracket is going to indicate empty list. In the concept of set function is going to indicate that set is an empty. Okay, so this is about clear method. Now let us go to some more methods we are having. So we are going to see the methods which are applicable for the mathematical operations. That means already we know the concepts of set in our mathematics. There we are having some concepts of union, or we can say intersection, or we can say difference of the sets. We have done in our 10th class or intermediate. We have seen all those concepts. Just we are having those functions in our Python also. Just here I will show you those methods, and I will apply those methods on our sets also. First method what I am going to apply is, just I will write those methods. For those methods are, first one is difference method. Okay, next one same difference only, but it is going to update the set. Let us see when we are going to see the examples. Next one is symmetric difference. Next I want to update the set when I'm going to perform the symmetric difference. So symmetric underscore difference underscore update. Next I want to perform the concept of intersection between the sets. So I have to use a function called as intersection. Next, so while performing the intersection of sets, I want to update those values into a set. So I have to apply intersection underscore update. Next, I want to perform union of sets. So for that I have to use union method. Next, I want to find whether the two sets are disjoint or not. So I am having a function method called as is disjoint, is a method name to find out whether the two are disjoint or not. Next, I want to find whether one set is subset of other or not. So I have to use a function called as is subset. And here I am finding what? Whether it is a subset or not. Now I want to find whether the one set is superset of other method or not. Sorry, other set or not. For that we are going to use what? Is superset. So all these functions can be applied on sets. So now directly I will show you the methods that can, these methods, by taking some examples. Okay. Already we know this concept. What is meant by difference? We know. What is meant by intersection? We know. What is meant by union? We know. So just I will explain briefly about this concept also when I'm going to show you the output of the methods. Now see, just I will take two methods here. A equal to, I'm going to take 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 comma 50 for example. Next, I'm going to take second set also because I have to perform the operations on two sets. So 60 comma 40 comma 70 comma 30 comma 20 I am going to take. So first method I want to apply is what? Difference I want to apply. So just I will apply a dot difference of b. In this way I have to apply. Now what happens? We are going to get the elements. See, observe here. 10, it is not present here, so it is printed here. Next, what happens? 20 is present already, so it is not printing. 30 is present here, so it is not printing. 40 is present here, so not printing. 50 is not present, so it is printed here. That means what? It is going to perform. It is going, see, a minus b, it is going to perform here. Here what I have applied? A dot difference of b. Okay, that means what it is going to do? Whatever the elements that are present inside A, it will check with B. So B is present. For example, I'm telling while we are going to perform minus operation, what we are going to do? Just we will cancel the elements. If 10 is there, so 10 is not there, so 10 will be written. 20 is there, cancel 20, 20. Next 30 is there, so 30, 30 cancel. 40 is there, 40, 40 cancel. And what we are remaining? 50 is there, but 50 is not here, so 50 is going to be taken. Now I will take the reverse. That is what B, with B I am going to take. That is B dot difference of A. Now what happens? From here I am going to check whether the elements of here are present or not. Here I am going to check. That is what? 60, is it present here? No, so that consider that element. 40, is it present here? Yes, so don't consider. 70, is it present here? No, so that print that. Next, 30, is it present? Yes, so don't consider that. 20, is it present here? Yes, so don't consider that. So this is what difference. That means it is going, difference method is going to give the difference between these sets. Okay, right. Now let us go to difference update. So see, after taking the difference also, if you print A, same elements are there. If you print B, same elements are there. That means what? Just it is going to give the difference between two sets. But now what I want, whatever the difference that is there, I want to update that difference to a particular set. That means what? Here I got 10 comma 50. I want to update this 10 comma 50 to A. But here, is it updated here? No, A is not updated, B is not updated. If I apply some difference also, but I want this updated difference into my A, for example. For that I am going for another method called as difference update. Nothing is there, there is no difference here. Sorry, there is no difference between difference and difference update. Just only one thing is, after performing A dot difference of B, what happens here? A is not modified here. Just if I print A also, what happens? The elements of A is going to be printed. But now in the concept of difference underscore update, what happened means, I will show you, you can understand clearly. So see, just I will take same thing, except the method is going to be changed. Update. Now output also will be same. See, but here we are not going to get anything. But here what we are going to get? I am going to get the set as output. But what happens here? I didn't get any set. That means what? Return type of difference underscore update is what? Nothing. None. Then what happens here? So whatever the result that is generated, that is stored in A. If you see A, what happens? We are going to get 10 comma 50. Operation is same. But here the A is not updated with this set. Here what happens? Difference update. That means what? I am telling whatever the difference that is there, please update that set into this A. This is the concept of difference underscore update. Next one, symmetric update. Let us take symmetric update. A equal to, I will take some values, some 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40. Next, for B, I'm going to take some other values like 40 comma 50 comma some 60 comma, okay, 10 comma 20. So here, okay, 1 minute. So before going to this one, I want to tell you one more point. That is, see, same values I will take. The difference method can also be applied by using the minus between the sets. If I write a minus b, the output will be same. See, if I apply what a minus b, what we get 30 here. In this concept, we are getting 30. In this concept, what will we get? If I apply a minus b on this one, we will get 10 comma 50. But here we got only 30. Reason is what? 10 is present, 20 is present, 40 is present. Only 30 is there. So 30 is printed. So minus operator, if I apply minus operator between the sets, it is going to give the difference of the sets. So now what we are talking? We are talking about symmetric difference. So first I want to discuss what is meant by a symmetric difference, because we know about the difference, but we may not know about the symmetric difference. So just I will give you a clear idea about that one. So here this method is going to give you what? Symmetric difference between some sets A and B. So what is meant by a symmetric difference means, so two sets I am going to consider A and B. So A and B is the set of elements, let us consider. And what are the elements that is going to be printed is the elements that are present either in A or in B, but not the intersection. Okay, but not intersection, very important, but not intersection. That is what? Either A or B, but not intersection, but not both. Either A or B, but not in intersection. Just you can understand by taking the example here. Just I am having what? A is there, B is there. Just I will apply A dot symmetric. So the function name is what? Symmetric underscore difference of B. Okay. See, what is the output? 50, 60, 30. What you have to understand here? If you observe these two cases, what happens? A intersection B is nothing but what? 10 and 20 will not be considered here. Here already I have shown you. But not intersection. Intersection values will not be given. Remaining all values will be given here. That is, see, 10, 20 already present here. So 10, 20 will not be given. So remaining elements 40 is also present. So 40 will not be given. Remaining elements will be given. That is what? Symmetric difference. Once again, I am repeating. So either A or B, that means all the elements of A, all the elements of B, except its intersection. That means the elements that are present in both the sets, those will not be printed. Remaining elements will be printed. That is what? 10 already present, 20 already present, 40 already present. That means 30 is not there. So 30 will be taken, 50 will be taken, and 60 will be taken. So it is printed as the output. Same way we are having what? If I print after this operation, we are going to get same elements in A and B, not modified. But if I want to update whatever the list that is going to be generated, so if I perform B dot A, B dot symmetric of A also, what we will get? We will get the same answer. There is no difference here. Okay, see, same will be there. 50, 60, 50, 60, 30 will be the output. Okay, same will be there. There is no problem. But now the concept is, I want to update the set, whatever that is going to be generated after symmetric difference. So just I will use one more method called as symmetric underscore difference underscore update. Now what happens here? After performing this operation also, A contains same values. But after performing this operation, if I see A, what happens? Result is going to be stored in A now. Only difference between symmetric difference and symmetric difference update is operation is same, but the output is going to be updated in the A here. It is not updated here. If it is updated, the output should not be this one. Okay. So if you see here, A is going to be modified with the new set. That new set is nothing but what? The symmetric difference between A and B. Okay. Right. Now let us see about intersection. What is meant by intersection? Intersection means both. Okay. Just I will show this. A, I am taking one set. B, I am going to take one set. Intersection means both. If both in both the sets, if it is present, it is going to print those values. That is what intersection of B. So what will be the answer? What are the elements that are present in both the sets? 10, 20, and 40. So answer will be what? 10, 20, and 40. Intersection means what? Whatever the common elements that are present in both the sets, those will be printed. So this intersection can also be applied for many things. That means what? It may be applied for 2 or 3 sets also, no problem. Comma 70 I am going to take. if I apply A dot intersection of B comma C, see what happens? Empty set. That means what? If I consider, see, A, B, C, is there any common element? So 10 is there, here 10 is there, but here 10 is not there. Here 20 is there, here 20 is there, but here 20 is not there. Here 30 is there, here 30 is not there. Here it is. So next 40 is there, here 40 is there, here 40 is not there. So it is going to give you what? Empty set. That means what? No elements are same in three sets. Commonly, there is no element in three sets. Okay, but there is common in two. But what I'm asking about three sets. Two more sets I have taken here. Okay, that is about multiple arguments we can take for the intersection. Same for this one only, we are having what? I'm having intersection update. So here what happens? After performing this operation also, A is having its own values. Own values it is going to have. But if I'm going to use intersection underscore update, whatever the set intersection values we are going to get, that will be updated in A. Now if we see A, what happens? Updated values will be there. Okay, that means intersection values will be there in A. What about B? B is not going to be modified, same values will be there. So A will be updated, okay, with the list of set of elements that are going to be generated. Okay, what about union? Last one, let us see union. Okay, two more are there, let us complete it. A equal to set of elements, some I am going to take 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 comma 50. Okay, some 5 elements I have taken, and B also I am going to take some more elements like 25 comma 35 comma 10 comma 60 comma some different values I am going to take here. So I want to apply union on these two, union of B. So see what happens. Union means what? All elements. See what here, 10 already, it is 10 is present, so once it is going to take. If our duplicates are there, in both the cases if it is present, it will take only one time. So 10 is taken, next 20 is taken, 30 is taken, next one is what? 40 is taken here, 50 is taken, next 25 is taken here, 35 is taken, next 10 is already taken here, next 60 is taken, next 20 is taken already. Okay, union means what? All the elements will be taken. Okay, distinct elements will be taken. Duplicates, as we know that duplicates will not be taken, so distinct elements are going to be taken here. Okay, right. Next, what we are having? We are having three more methods are there. That is just, it is going to tell you what is disjoint. Disjoint means what? Both are same or not. I will find whether I will take three sets. Let us take 10, 20 and 30. Okay, and B I am going to take it as what? Some different values I am going to take. So I am asking you, what is these two are disjoint or not? Yes, these two are disjoint only because those are not joined. So if I apply A dot is disjoint, that means all these are same or not in A and B? No, not same. That means what? It is a disjoint. So if I ask A is disjoint of B, yes, it is going to give you what? True. Let us take a reverse case. That is what? I will take 10 comma 20 comma 40. Now what happens? If I apply A dot disjoint of C, so all the two elements are same, but third element is not same. So automatically what we can say? Both are not same, so that it is a disjoint set. Okay, at least one element is not same in the set, we can say it as a disjoint. Okay, so it is these are also disjoint sets. We can also apply for the other iterables also. That is what, for tuple and all those concepts also I can apply this disjoint. Just I will show for list also. 10 comma 20 comma 30. So I want to apply what? A dot is disjoint of D. What happens here? So it is applicable for this D also. D contains what? List, no problem. When I am going to apply A dot is disjoint of D, internally it will convert it into a set and it will compare with the other set. Okay, so this is about is disjoint method. And is subset, what is meant by is subset? I will take one large set of values, just I will take 10 comma 30 comma 20 comma 40 comma 50 comma 70, 60, 80. A big set I have taken here. Just a small set I am going to consider here. That is what 30, 50, 70 I am going to take. Now I want to check whether B is the subset of A or not. Okay, what I want to check is B is the subset of A or not. B dot subset of A. Is B a subset of A or not? Yes. So 1 minute. So set object has no attribute subset. Oh, sorry. Is subset. Okay. Is subset. Yes. It is what? True. Yes. B is the subset of A. That means what? The elements that are present in B is part of A. So we can say it as a subset. Now, if I ask A dot is subset of B, is A is subset of B? That means is all elements of A is present in B? No. We are going to get what? False. So to find out this one, I can use superset. I am having the concept of what? Superset. Is A is superset of B? That means what? Superset. Is this is superset of B? Yes, it is superset of B. That means what? All the elements that are present in B is contained in A. So we can say A as a superset of B. So reverse is not true. That means if I ask you, is B is superset of A? No, because all the elements of A is not present in B. Okay. So reverse is not true. That is what? B dot is superset of A. Is B is superset of A? That means what? Is the elements of A is present in B? No, all the elements are not present. Okay, we are going to get what? False. So this is about set functions. A small concept is remaining. Just that is nothing but that is in and not in. Directly I will say, just I will take one function, one set here. If I want to search for 30 in, yes, is it present or not? Yes, it is. Is 30 is present here? Yes, it is present. What is going to show 30 in? Yes. For any sequence, we can apply this concept, but here 30 in S, it is there. Oh, sorry, I have taken A. Sorry, 1 minute. Just I will print A here. I have to see what 30 in A. 30 in A. Is it present? Yes, it is present. So true. Just I will take 100 not in. 100 not in A. Is 100 is in A? Not in A. So answer is what? True. Is 40 not in A? Is 40 not in A? No, it is there. So our statement is what? Wrong. So it will give you what? False. So membership operators can be applied. And also we can already we have seen what? Is also we have seen. That is what we can say. Identity operators also we have seen with these sets. Finally, I want to show you one small example. That is what? Set comprehension. It will take 2 or 3 minutes. Already we know what is meant by set comprehension or list comprehension. In the same way, we are having what? Set comprehension. What is the syntax? Just here we will write expression for some X in sequence. Okay. So it is the list comprehension. Sorry, set comprehension. As we have seen in our list comprehension, same concept here also applicable. Just I will take one small example. Okay, just one small example. With this, the concept of sets will be completed. Just I want to print the vowels of the whatever the word you want to enter. From that, I want to find out the vowels. Enter the word or enter the string. You can consider anything, no problem. I want to find out what? First, it will be taken in which form? By default, it will be string. So I want to convert it into a set by using a set function. So now the elements that are present in S will be what? Separate characters. Now what I have to do? I want to first tell what are the vowels. What are the vowels? Just I will take only small letters. You can also take capital letters, no problem. But just I am taking what? Only small letters. A, E, I, O, U. Okay, I will not consider here capital letters. And in by when I'm giving the word also, I will not take capital letters. If you want to take, you can take, no problem. So vowels are what? I have given something, some A, E, I, O, U in small case. So just to one this you have to understand. S dot intersection of V. That means here what happens? Yes, whatever the things that are present in S, if it is present in V, that will be stored in D. That means what? Whatever the word you are going to take, the individual characters will be stored in set. I am checking what? S and V. So whatever the elements that are present in S, let us consider SIVA is present. Is S is in V? Not there. So it will not be considered. Is I is there? Yes, it will be considered. Is V is there? Not there. So it will not be considered. Is A is there? It is there. So it will be considered. That means what? Only vowels of the word is going to be taken. Okay. Just I will write a print of what I will take. Vowels in a given word. Vowels in given word is, okay, let us see the output. Okay, see, enter the word. Just I will enter small name Shiva. Vowels in given word is nothing. Just it is telling what. So just I have to print something here. Sorry. D I am going to print. Okay, just I will give you Shiva. So what it is going to print? I and A are the vowels that are going to be present in your given word. So the same thing can be written where here I have not taken any if and for. So no need of using this one. Just I will take some other just I thought of giving the same example for the set comprehension, but there is no if and else here. So I don't want to discuss with this set comprehension. Just I will take a small example. So that is what S equal to, I want to perform some x square. So x square is nothing but what? X double star 2. I want to perform for which numbers? For x in range of 1,6. If you want to write if condition also, we can write, but I'm not going to take it. Here we can write if condition also. Just I want to print what? I want to print yes value, or for if you can write for and you can do it, no problem. That is what for. Here we can take some values for I in S. You can also print I here. Okay. Right now see what happens here. We are going to get 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 because I have taken only values from 1 to 5. It will consider only up to 1 to 5. Directly if I want to print without the for loop also, let us see what happens here. See what is the output. We are not going, sorry, what is the output? We will get same output will be given, but it will be in the form of what? It will not be individual characters. It will be form of the set, because it is what? Set comprehension. If it is a list comprehension, what will be the output of this program? Let us take it as a list. So output will be in list. Okay, it will be in the list. So this is about set concept. Okay, in next session we are going to see about dictionary concept. Thank you.